Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another one of my weekly mansion builds, and today we're going to go ahead and build this modern desert mansion. So this is a little bit different, and I was kind of just in, but I don't know why my voices keep going high. I've just had like a coffee and now my voice is all croaky and stuff, which is always a bad idea before voiceover. So sorry if my voice keeps breaking during this video. Anyway, so I was kind of just in the mood to do something a bit modern because, well, first of all, I'm never really that good at modern stuff. I don't know why, but they just never ever work out for me. They always just turn out to look really kind of amateurish, and it's never a good time. But I decided to give it another go today, and it actually turned out really nicely, and I actually really like this home. So if you want to go ahead and download it for yourself, it is up in the gallery now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. So this is kind of a smaller mansion. Not only is it on a 50 by 50 lot, which is because it fits the desert theme. Like, there's no other bigger lots, like, because I couldn't do this on Brilliant Bay and call it a desert mansion. So there's no kind of 64 by 64 lots in Oasis Springs. So the biggest lot here is a 50 by 50, so that's what I had to work with. And it also, for another reason, isn't that big because it only has 3 bedrooms. Now, I think that is a pretty reasonable amount of bedrooms for a home, but for me, for a mansion build, that's like nothing really, because sometimes it can be like 8 bedrooms, and even one time, and I've mentioned this a few times, but a few months ago now I think it was, I did one called a mega mansion, which was just a over the top type of thing, and I had 26 bedrooms, so that kind of just proves how this is such low of a number for me. But I still really like how it turned out regardless though, and it also has 3 bathrooms as well, I believe, so it's a little bit on the smaller side, but I don't really think that's such a bad thing after all. And yeah, so right now we're just working on the landscaping. As you can see, we've got pretty much the kind of, you know, regular structure of the home done. It took me about an hour and a half to do this from start to finish, which really is no time at all, to be honest. It just, you know, I do these every week, so it's just getting quicker and quicker. I was imagining that it would take a little bit longer to do this, because if it's a theme that I'm not really used to, then it normally takes me a little bit longer, but it actually didn't today, which is great. And it, you know, people always ask me about that, and the reason really that I can do them so fast, my weekly mansion builds like in 2 hours or something, is because the ones that I do on the other weeks, which aren't really this sort of theme, is something that I'm very used to, so it's kind of like second nature now. But I was kind of surprised that it took me this short amount of time for something that I'm not really used to. But let me know if you want to see some other things. I'm really trying to kind of do some other types of things for my weekly mansion builds, because, you know, now that's a kind of a proper series on my channel, it's kind of like I can't really be doing the same type of suburban family home every single week. Even though it's my favourite thing to do, I can't, because it just gets a little bit ridiculous sometimes. And, you know, sometimes I do like to do that type of home, but I do just have to be a little bit more aware of it and try to switch it up in different ways, and you know, just not end up having a very similar shape for each of the builds. So this is a really good opportunity to do that, to switch it up, and it's also something nice for me to do as well, because, you know, sometimes if I'm doing these every single week, it can get a little bit stressful sometimes, because they all kind of boring at the same time. So, you know, it is kind of nice as well to do this. And yeah, so this is the pool area here, as you can see, and I do also have a hot tub next to it, and it's all raised up on like a foundation sort of thing. I don't do that too often, for no reason really, I just don't. So it looks a little bit different today, which I was glad about. And I don't know why, but I'm seeing a little bit of lag on screen now. I'm really sorry about that if you can see that. Sometimes it like, well, the thing is that sometimes I'm recording the video and I get no lag at all, and then once I put it into my recording software, it's really laggy, which I have no idea why that happens, but it just does. And then also sometimes is that it may be laggy whilst I'm watching this playback screen as I'm doing the voiceover, but once the video is rendered, it's fine again. So I don't know why, it's really weird, but sometimes it kind of stresses me out, and then I realise once it's rendered, like, oh, I stressed out for nothing. Anyway, so this is kind of just an outdoor seating area here, as you can see. Pretty simple. We didn't actually have a whole lot of room for the kind of other outdoor activities and stuff in this build, so it isn't as big as the other, you know, types of builds, but we're still kind of got, you know, the main things in. Also, I've just realised I don't know why I'm saying that, because we do actually have a huge rooftop. So you can see that the roofs are made from half walls, not actual roofs, because that just adds to the modern theme. Well, the one that you can see there, which has the wooden floors on it, that's actually going to be like a rooftop sort of outdoor area. So there's a big bar area, there's a big seating area, big dining table, a DJ booth, and there's also a barbecue area which has its own little kind of like counters and island counters and stuff. So you'll see that a little bit later. I really wanted to include that because I thought that it just fits a really modern kind of type of theme well, and I thought it'd be a good type of, well, a good use, there we go, of all that extra space. And now I was actually going to make 2 rooftop areas, but I did actually just go ahead and change it to 1, because after I finished that first one I was like, oh my god, this is actually huge, and I'm going to end up just doing the same thing. It's just going to be another million types of seating areas. So I was like, you know what, there's no point doing that. Anyway, so we're just working on a little bit of the landscaping, as you can see. I kind of did the bit of the front and then I kind of stopped it, because I actually did this over a few days. I started building this on the 29th of July, and then I came back to finish it on the 6th of August, and then this is going up, let me just check, on the 12th of August I think this is going up. So it was kind of just a little bit of a process, can't speak, and the reason I did that is because I do actually love building the exteriors the most. It's my favourite part. So what I end up doing is that when, like, in a very short space of time, I'll end up starting like 3 work in progresses, and I do like 3 or 4 different, you know, exteriors. So then I go back to them every now and again and kind of do a little bit more. So that's why it was such a long time ago. Well, it wasn't that long ago, but you know, a few weeks ago since I started it. So oh god, what? I don't know why I'm messing up my words so much today. Right now, there we go, we're working on the rooftop area, as I said a few minutes ago, and it is a kind of really nice area. It's all very, you know, modern, and I suppose it got like a luxury aspect to it as well, I would say. And that upstairs area, as you can see, I wasn't really too, like in the interior, I mean, I wasn't really too sure what to do with it, because it is a very small space, and I was going to make it into a bedroom, but I was like, I don't really know. So I ended up just making like a small bedroom, and then the rest of it, it's kind of just like an open office, which you'll see once you get into the interior. And there's also a kind of a very big, sort of like a, I don't know what you would call it, in the hallway, like I took out where the stairs are, like a big portion of the flooring, so it's kind of all open for the 2 levels. I don't really know how to explain that. There is a word for it, but it's just, oh, mezzanine, that's it. I made like a mezzanine level for that upstairs area and the hallway and the upstairs kind of corridor sort of area, which you'll see a little bit later. So for the interior now, as we're working on, this is the kind of living room area, and it was a pretty big room. So what I decided to do, and because there wasn't really any blank walls I could put a fireplace on, I did decide to go ahead and put the fireplace in the middle, which is something that I have done before. I'm trying to think back to what build it was. I've actually done it twice. The first one was with a build battle that I'd done with Spring Sims back in August last year, and that was on a contemporary family home sort of build battle we're doing, and I'm pretty sure in that build the fireplace was in the middle of the room. I don't know how I can remember that, but I just do. And the other one that I did that on was pretty recent as well. Oh, it was the modern farmhouse mansion I did. That was a few weeks ago too. So that's the 2 times I've done it. It's not really a very special idea, it's just something a little bit interesting. I thought looked a little bit different, so I wanted to go ahead and include it in today's build. And you know, it does go with that modern theme really well, I think, so I kind of like how that looked. So one side has a TV, a big TV, and the fireplace, so it's kind of more of a family relaxed sort of space. And then the room on the other, well, the space on the other side of the room has the same fireplace, but it doesn't have a TV, so it's more of like a formal area, I would say. And yeah, so this room right here is so different for me. It's honestly, I'm not really too sure what to think about it, but the colour scheme in this room is this kind of very mint green, turquoise sort of bluish green colour, I guess. And it is so odd, but I was kind of just wanting to really kind of switch things up, and I kind of did a green room here, which is something that I normally do at the beginning of the build. I go through and always do the wall coverings and flooring and lights first. I don't know why, but I just do. So I was going around doing that, and I always like to include a green room somewhere. I don't know why, I just do. So it's just because it's a little bit different and things, and it switches it up. So I ended up making this room green, and I was thinking, you know what, let's just do a green kitchen. But I didn't plan on making the counters like that as well. And honestly, after I was finished, I was like, you know what, this looks a little bit different, because you know, it still works, because you know, the counters and the cabinets and everything have these colour swatches, and it's all jungle adventure items. So everything kind of ties in well with each other, but it's just something a little bit different. And I don't know if it fits this entire home that well. I mean, it's just out of the box sort of a colour, so I don't know. Let me know what you think of it. You can easily change up the colour swatches if you want to, but I just thought it was something a nice, you know, change, I suppose. And yeah, so right now we're working on one of the bathrooms. As you can see, since this home was pretty small, I thought it'd be a nice idea to include the bathrooms, so that's what we're doing today. And I'm doing this thing recently, and I've done it in a few of my speed builds as well, but where I kind of put the why can't I think of this? I'm up to a mess. The sinks, I put like the console table we got from Seasons, the glass one. I put that underneath it, and I use the modern sort of sinks from Spotty, and I put those two together, and they always work really nicely. I also do that a lot with that kind of oh, I forgot what pack it was. We've got like a marble console table. I think I want to say Vintage Glamour. I'm not too sure if it was, but I think it was from that. And I also used those same sinks and put them over that, and it kind of just makes like a bench sort of thing for it. It's really hard to explain, but that's something that I do sometimes, and you know, it just adds to the modern feel, and it's something a little bit different as well. So this room is kind of like another sort of sitting room, living room type of thing. It has a bar in it. It's not more of a, you know, living room, it's more of like a bar room. And I was actually going to plan on making this into a bedroom, but I realised that we've got the other rooms that are, you know, see the doors in this room that go off to the other ones. Well, I totally forgot about those. I was like, oh, well, how on earth are people going to go to those rooms? Because I don't really want them to walk through a bedroom to get to those other rooms, if that makes sense. So I just ended up making this into another kind of living room area. There wasn't really anything else I could do with it, because I couldn't make it into a bedroom, and it's too big to be a bathroom, and it only has 3 bedrooms to start with. So I was thinking, well, there's no point making it into a huge bathroom or something. But then again, I'm thinking now, and I'm like, well, why do they need 2 huge sitting rooms for a 3-bedroom home? I have no idea why, but that's just what ended up happening. It is a mansion build after all, so I suppose those type of things are okay. So this room right here is a kid's room. I totally forgot to mention, but this type of home that I had in mind was for 2 parents, a teen and a kid. So that's totally up to you. You don't have to have that type of family to play in this home. You can totally change it up if you need to. And you know, a lot of the time, well, every time I do a speed build, unless I state it, I do like to make the bedrooms fairly neutral. So it's kind of something that you can download, and it doesn't matter what type of sim family you're playing, you can just go ahead and put them in here and change up the colour swatches to meet their needs, or what they're interested in, stuff like that. So that's what I normally do, but sometimes it is nice to do like a kid's room and something like that, so that's what we did today. And this is the master bedroom here. I did do the bed on a diagonal because this room was pretty big, so it was just a case of how doing that to fill up the space, which is always a good kind of trick, I suppose, if you have a big room, is to do that on a diagonal, because you know, you've got that space behind the bed as well, which is kind of now taken up, so that's a good way if you want to kind of take up some space. We've also got a huge big TV as well, and a very expensive armchair there as well. I don't really know why I put that in, but I was imagining that maybe it's a modernised home, but there's some aspects of it from this family that they kind of brought over from like a family heirloom or something like that, and that's why they've got that very old grand chair sitting there. So the main kind of area of the home is purple. I don't know why, but the darker colour swatches I was using with the flooring, and also on the inside, on the outside as well, tied in nicely. And I always like to pair purple with a darker colour swatch, like with dark woods and stuff. I don't know why, but it just always works well. So that's what I ended up doing for the main kind of hallways and corridors and stuff in this build, which is a little bit different, but I think it looks nice as well. And you know, modern builds are... sorry, I can't speak. Modern builds, there we go, are sometimes a little bit out of the box, so it's kind of nice to do that and kind of go with that idea too. So yeah, we're on the last kind of rooms of this build on the upstairs area here, with that small little room which could be maybe a guest room or a teen's room, and also this extra bathroom that's next to it. So I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of it. If you have any more ideas for different kind of speed builds or mansion builds ideas or anything like that you have for my videos coming up, then feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and go ahead and download this from the Sims 4 gallery. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.